In the featherweight division, your co-main event at UFC 303, you got Brian Ortega coming in at 16-3, taking on Diego Lopes, who comes in at 24-6. This is American versus Brazilian. Now, Lopes, 3 inches taller at 5'11". He's 29. Ortega, 33, still in that prime window. Lopes has a 4-inch reach advantage. He stands right-handed. Ortega, as you know, is a switch stance fighter, always an advantage. He lands 4.1 significant strikes per minute and slightly more active than Lopes, who lands 3.2 per minute. So you're looking at about 10 to 15 difference over the course of the fight. Now, you would think Lopes would have more takedowns. His takedown average is 0.0, right? So he doesn't land many takedowns. Ortega can get one like every 3 rounds. So he's not a big takedown specialist either. Now, T-City Brian Ortega, 57% takedown defense. That won't be a problem here, right? He did have 3 takedowns against Yair Rodriguez in a dominant performance, which led to an arm triangle submission. Before that, he lost to Yair by KO and Volkanovski by decision and beat the Korean Zombie, aka Chan Sung Jung, by unanimous decision. So 2-2 in the last 4. Now, Lopes has run off 3 in a row and a very impressive win in his last fight against Sadiq Youssef, which led to a first-round KO. He also KO'd Pat Sabatini and submitted Gavin Tucker. Right before that, he lost to Movsar Evloev and Joe Anderson Brito. So he's fought some tough opponents. He's got some experience. But let's be real. I'm not going against T-City. I like Brian Ortega. I still think he's one of the baddest featherweights there are in the division, you know. And right now, the odds favor Lopes, believe it or not. But listen, I'm going with Brian Ortega. He's more active. He's a switch stance fighter. He's still in the prime. Okay. He can land takedowns if things get difficult on the feet. So Brian Ortega is a more well-rounded fighter here. I get that Lopes finished Sadiq Youssef, and that is a big deal, but Brian Ortega's got all the intangibles, and he is facing a rising Diego Lopes, so be ready for that. But Brian Ortega wins here to move to 17-3, in my opinion, by decision on significant strikes and maybe 2 or 3 takedowns here in the featherweight division at UFC 303.